My name is Miriam Ndegwa, the fundraising support officer from Next Step Foundation. I run Upili program in Kenya. My other colleague is in the US. She was the one supposed to present Upili today, but she was not able to come today, so I brought myself here. Today I'm going to take you through Upili program, the pilot of it, which we did the first trimester of the school year for 2024. So welcome, and I hope it will be interactive, and you'll enjoy what we do. So let's go. So Next Step Foundation is the one powering Upili program, and Upili is the Swahili name for secondary. So what Upili is, we run it in high schools, special schools in Kenya. So our pilot program, we did it at Joytown, which is in Thika. That's where we did our pilot program. So I'll take you through what we do, the mission and vision of Next Step Foundation, and how Upili fixes itself into the foundation. So Next Step Foundation believes in meaningful employment, which is the most effective way to reduce poverty in persons with disability, because we believe if you empower anyone with disability, it means they're able to provide for themselves, whether it's assisted devices, employment where they are going to be employed, and also improve their lives, not just theirs, but also their families and community at large. So what we do is, Upili does is, we provide psychosocial support to the students in high school. So that basically is the adolescents area, where we bring in counselors with disability, who are more or less, or let me say, break the first 2 sessions of counseling that we do. So if in our counseling sessions, we have 6 sessions or 7 sessions. So if we bring in a counselor with disability, we break 2 of those sessions, because now they want to view them as a story or something to be sympathized. So they'll just go direct in terms of, you already know me, you already know my challenges, so let's move to the next step. So they look up to these counselors as mentors, and even somebody they can look up to in the future. So let's move to the next slide. So Upili program, what we did, when we were beginning Upili program, we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into in the beginning, because this was not the plan initially. The plan was to provide the assistive devices in the beginning. Then we saw many other people are coming in and providing these things to the kids. So we went back, sat down with the team that we have, and we started discussing what we need to do that is different. And we saw they don't have psychosocial support. They had they didn't have esteem. Self-esteem was pretty much low. They didn't believe in themselves. They didn't know who they are and how to even carry themselves. So when we went in the first time, the challenge was they had anxieties, they had depression in the beginning. So those were the things that we went and started looking at, and how we could help them in the beginning. So that's how we came up with Upili. And it was hindering them from achieving whatever they need to achieve, or even complete their high schools. So in Kenya, I'll give an example of Kenya, because that is where I've studied, and that is where I've been. Most of persons with disability finish primary, but the same number will not all of them will go into high schools. So you'll find even 80% went through primary. That same number will not go into high school. So a majority of them will drop out. So you'll find like maybe 40% are the ones who will go to secondary school. And even in secondary school, they will not complete. So what we found out is that they had problems, they had traumas that they didn't deal with prior. So these traumas can be either family, community, even within yourselves, because we also have our own traumas within ourselves. Once we, if you go through a whole life session where there are things that have not been treated, you carry them all through. So there's no time you're going to breathe. Like a person with disability, you don't breathe, actually. Like for me, I never breathed at any given point because I had to be on toes to be who I am today, or even just to step up in any room. So you can imagine how that is for a person with disability in high school, and more or less a teenager. So we did a survey and we saw persons with disability are 10 times likely to suffer from depression, and mostly in East Africa because of being stigmatized and also just not getting what they need to get. So they don't really get to be who they are at their best when they have such things. So how did we sought to solve the issue? So the Next Step Foundation program, UPILI program, addresses the mental issues by providing counselors with disability to support the secondary students with disabilities. So we went to Joytown. That is my former school that I went to. We provided a counselor with disability for them, so that at least we saw that was the best approach that we had in that time, so that they can be more, they can be more open. That is what we thought. They can be able to connect with the person and feel like there's somebody who is listening to them. So that's how we did it. And we saw that is the only way that we could build themselves, their families, and also the community at large. So what the other solution is, how are we achieving all this? Is by instilling confidence, self-awareness, and also just being aware of their surroundings as a person. Because if I'm aware of who I am and how the environment works, I'm able to speak for myself and even to advocate for the rest. So the pilot program, like I said, we did it at Joytown. We had a group of 2 classes. We did the Form 3s and Form 4s. Those are the last 2 of the high school in Kenya, because we saw those ones are the most affected, and they are the ones leaving high school, joining the world itself. So we did it a smaller group of around 30, but we completed with that 4. So a few joined in later on. So this is our impact report from the pilot program that we did. We found out that 80% of the students reduced their levels of daily and weekly anxiety levels, as well as 78% reduction of their daily and weekly levels of depression. So that was the outcome of just a small group that we had initially. And it was so good because when we went in, we went so raw. With mental illness, it's very raw when you go in, so you never know the outcome of it. And remember, these kids, they're in adolescent stage. They have been sidelined. They also have issues from the communities, because the school that we went to hosts almost the whole of Kenya. So each individual comes from different areas of Kenya. So if you bring all those people in one position, they kind of share some problems or even issues. So us going in raw there, I was a bit anxious, but then again, I've been through the school, I know how things happen. But we're dealing with a different generation today. So, but having this kind of feedback was great. So this is our theory of change. I've seen some of you, we have shared a few of how we change things. So how we do it, we do group counseling. So We take in 15 or less per group. So either boys have their own counselor, girls have their own counselor. So they go through a session for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, we analyze how they're improving and how we can adjust to make it even more adaptable for them. Then we have the teacher training. We saw that if we just do the group counseling for the students, it does not really help. So we need to engage the teachers. So that's when we do the teacher training. Then we have the peer-to-peer. These ones are the ones that will help us when the counselors are not there or when the teacher is not nearby. So they serve as the middle between the counselor and the teacher. As well as we saw, it is still not complete. We need to engage the caregivers. So it's a whole 360. We touch everybody. So if the kid is not at home, they're at school, they have somebody to talk to. And when they have our counselors, they also have somebody freely to talk to, because it's not their teacher. Because you can't have two masters. You can't be a teacher and also be a counselor. So that is how we do it, at 360 of it, so that the child has everything that they need at any given point that they feel they need someone to talk to. So that is our theory of change. How we measure our success is through mental health and behavior improvement. This one may take a while, but it starts a bit, and you'll see it. We have seen, or we have had feedback from the teachers about it. Bits by bits, they change. So we measure it by how they give, we are given feedback from both the counselor, the teacher, and also the parent. And also academic improvements. So if a student gets whatever they need from the counselors, they're able to concentrate on the academics. So they're able to perform. So that is also another point. Workplace performance. So if I'm able to advocate for them myself and know who I am, I'm able to give my work 100%. Because I know what I want, my mind is pretty much clear. There's no anything that is bothering me. And I'm able to tell my employer, this is what I need, this is how I can work, because I am self-aware of who I am. So that's how we measure it at workplace. And also how we, the graduates, once they leave the schools, we also do a follow-up. Some of them may join the foundation itself, because we do trainings in AI courses. So some of them will join in on that other side. So we continue building their confidence through the training as well, because we also have a bit of upili in it. So we keep motivating them as they go on until they have a place where they can earn what they're supposed to earn in a good way. So that is me, then that is Carla. She's in Texas. Like I said, she was supposed to be here. She was the one to do the presentation. She helps me in the US, where she looks for funders to support the program, look for grants as well. So she's my main supporter in the US, and I am the main supporter in Kenya for her. So these are what we have been getting feedback from different, I would call them, some of them are our partners, and others are some of the students that we have worked with. So you can see the teachers from the Treeside School, which we enrolled this last semester, that's just finished. So for them, it is a blind, it's a deaf school. And you can imagine going into a deaf school where nobody can hear, and they have never encountered a counselor before. So when we went in for just to ask how would it be, or how would you feel us coming in? They were pretty much excited to have us on board, and they didn't hesitate to have us on board, and it has been great so far, the last 2 months. So they really wanted us immediately, like, can you start today? Today? So that was pretty much good. And the other one is the students, the first group that we did, the pilot one. Some of them, they didn't believe in this. I would say, because I know the students, I've interacted with her pretty much. She didn't have confidence, like totally. Even talking to me, and I'm a lady, she's a lady as well, it was pretty much hard. So you can imagine she went through the 6 weeks, and by the time she was in her 4th week, the administration showed us the improvement that she had made. She could talk, she could answer questions in class, so it was good feedback from them. Then we have some of our counselors that have been coming in to help us with parents when we needed parents to be trained or even just to be talked to, just because we have a child with, so those ones are the ones that help us when we need help for parents, because they need to be talked to. This is the last, I am hoping. So this is how we are going to do it for us, if you're going to help us to change the narrative of mental health, to raising awareness of mental health stigma. Advocating for emotional and fast responders, like I said, those are the teachers, the caregivers. They're the ones who will be our fast responders to train. Then we have referred to as counselors with disabilities, because it's pretty much hard to find them. So if you know any in Kenya outside, because we might go global soon, you never know. I also promote disability-led stories and advocacy. So yes, today I'm one who's standing here for that. And also empower the disability voices. So I'm here doing also that as well. So thank you.